Time is life. Hours can make a difference between life and death. JAM's goal is to save lives. Life is precious. I'm Peter Pretorius, and together with my wife Anne, we started Joint Aid Management, a Christian relief organization, in 1983. Anne and I are both South African with a love for Africa. JAM has more than 3 decades of international experience working in many African nations. This experience has enabled us to gain valuable insight and understanding about the complexities of community-based projects, international donor requirements, and the implementation of effective programs on the ground. World hunger still remains the greatest challenge, with 840 million people in the world undernourished. Every year, over 6 million children under the age of 5 die as a result of hunger and malnutrition, a number too great to easily comprehend. This means that 11 children die every minute. JAM targets the individual child. Our focus is to help every child that we can. The reality is that every 11 children we help, we can turn the clock back by 1 minute. JAM's programs include emergency relief, reaching people in that critical 48 hours of crisis, having arisen from disaster, nutritional feeding. JAM feeds more than 1 million children in our school feeding programs every school day, thus increasing their attendance at school and also enhancing their education. JAM's factories produce life-sustaining, highly nutritious food, which is pre-cooked and vitamin and mineral enriched. USAID-supported research shows that vitamin A can reduce child mortality by 23 to 34% in vitamin A deficient populations. JAM assists with education at these school-based feeding programs, thus ensuring the next generation in Africa will have an opportunity for improved development. Orphan and childcare. After the severe drought during the 1980s in war-torn Mozambique, JAM established a life center orphanage in Pombara, taking care of widows and more than 300 orphans whose parents had died from starvation in that area. Within weeks of the 1994 genocide in Rwanda, JAM started to take care of displaced children and then constructed a life center in Gitarama to house 700 orphans. Working hand in hand with the Rwandan Social Welfare Department, more than 12,000 children were fostered into local homes. Today, this facility is a skills development center, training young men and women in carpentry, catering, computer skills, mechanics, construction, and tailoring. It has changed the lives of thousands of children who have been helped in this way. Skills development and training. JAM is equipping nationals in many countries through various skills development and training projects. Our Center of Excellence in Mozambique is focused on agricultural training for small commercial farmers who produce the crops needed for our food factories. This sustainable cycle of development is the hope for the eradication of poverty in underdeveloped rural areas of Africa. Community development programs. Community projects are the only way to achieve sustainable progress that leads to the alleviation of abject poverty. Through Food for Assets projects, many agricultural programs have been established. Hand-dug water wells provide irrigation and people are trained in better agricultural production. Seeds and tool programs enable local communities to develop their own seed bank by paying back a percentage of their production. JAM distributes tens of thousands of tons of food received from World Food Programme and other organizations. Government grants and effective development partnerships with organizations like Life Outreach International and multiple other partners from around the world enable us to expand this work year after year, reaching more communities in need. Relationships with government have been established at all levels. Signing of contracts and cooperation agreements plays an integral part in fulfilling programs on the ground. Water drilling. This has alleviated suffering for many thousands and thousands of individuals and communities. Women and children spend up to a quarter of their time walking up to 10 kilometers a day to collect water. The water is seldom fit for human consumption and rapidly spreads disease. Women are vulnerable as they take water from the rivers and the streams. Where water wells have been drilled close to a village, the incidence of rape and the harassment of women and children has dropped dramatically. JAM is drilling hundreds of wells each year in Africa, where thousands of cases of cholera and other waterborne diseases are prevalent. JAM's strategy for Africa is to provide rapid emergency relief services, provision of good nutrition alongside education, distribution of food supplies, agricultural training and development, primary health care, skills development solutions in the fight against poverty. Please partner with JAM as we continue to help Africa help itself.